I walked out on my final exam with no job, no good grade, nothing really. I were in that case nothing. I wasn't a student anymore. I'd officially finished high school and my head was spinning. I slid into the summer of 2025 not knowing at all what I wanted to do. All I knew was I wanted meaning, a meaningful job or like career. I wanted it to be purposeful, to be continuously like learning me new things and challenging me. I wanted to grow from what I wanted to have as my main work in the future. I didn't want to just do something for 40 plus years and never change and become a new person from it. Now, I found fantasy fiction that summer of 2025 after reflecting. And I went from a student to an aspiring author or novelist. I've now spent 7+ months doing fantasy writing, and I have 3 things I want to share with you. I have 3 points that I think will help you go from a student and become a novelist yourself, or be an aspiring novelist. I'm not yet there either. Let's just say that. So the first point is to take and become your own authority in your own life. I know you, as I do, probably live with your parents, and it might be a little tough to tell them that you want to become a writer, you want to become a novelist, a best-selling author. That's your dream. But I think there comes a point when, even though they might not believe you, we can't succumb to their wants. If they don't want you to be it, or that you feel like you might get judged, you can't let that dictate what you want and you going after that. And that's what I did in the summer of 2025. I gave myself permission. I didn't have a teacher or parent or anyone to give me permission to be a writer. I just began. I just sat down at this desk and I began. I gave myself permission to be a horrendous writer in the start, but I gave myself the authority. I became my own authority in that sense. And I think that matters in all domains of life when it comes to our fitness, the dating life, your health, your work. You have to become your own authority and lead yourself and give yourself permission to those tasks. So that's the first point. The second point is, if you're an aspiring novelist, you start a writing routine. It's as simple as that. You become a writer, you give yourself that identity of being a writer by doing what a writer does. And a writer writes every day, or maybe not every day, because I've actually heard that's a myth. You don't have to write every day, but that you have this routine in place where you write. So that's the second thing. The third point is I actually forgot, so give me 1 second, I'll check my notes. Yeah. Thinking in decades and persevering. That's when I decided to want to become a fantasy author like J.K. Rowling and George R. Martin, etc. I knew it would take a long time to get anything published. So the mental shift I'd say you should probably adopt too, if you want to be an aspiring novelist and you don't quit your writing journey, it's to think in decades. And that's also something I've heard from a self-improvement YouTuber I watched closely before, which is called Chris Sturmy. 1M, I think, on YouTube. And he always preaches to think in decades. And as novelists or aspiring novelists, I think thinking in decades is crucial, because that will help you persevere and it will help you keep writing every day. You understand that a masterful work gets done over decades, not days. So that's really the 3 points, I'd say. Those, well, tactic and mental mindsets has helped me definitely continue to write for these past 7 months. And yeah, I think it's fucking cool that you want to become an author as well, a novelist. I think more people should like dream big. I personally, I said, I literally started 9th June 2025 of like, I started like writing and drafting like terrible scenes, and that's the date I set it 10 years ago, writing a 6-book series. And I hadn't even written a short story. I haven't written a short story yet either. And yeah, I think go big. Go for what you fucking want. And people can yap and babble behind your back. Doesn't matter. So that's another day into a very long journey. In my case, day 246 of creating the next Harry Potter book series. So take care, take the points if you want, and yeah.